Welcome to Living Your Wealth Today and Tomorrow, the show where we explore how to enjoy the wealth you've already built, as well as how to best plan for a successful financial future. I'm your host, Kelly Ennis, founder and president of Infinity Financial Strategies. Welcome back to Living Your Wealth Today and Tomorrow. I'm Kelly Ennis, a financial advisor dedicated to helping you make sense of what matters most in your financial life. Today, we're going to tackle a question that might change the way you think about money entirely. Is it more important to build wealth or to focus on achieving individual financial goals? Now, most of us have been taught to set goals, specific, measurable, achievable, yada, yada, yada. Save for the vacation, buy the car, pay off the credit card, fund the college account. And there's nothing wrong with that. Goals are useful. They're motivating. They give you something to check off the list. But here's the thing. Focusing only on goals can keep you trapped in a cycle where you're always starting over. You save up for the vacation, you take the vacation, and now the account is back to zero. You buy the car, it's great, until it's not, and you have to start saving again. What if, instead, you built something bigger than any single goal? Something that works for you around the clock, not just for the next purchase or milestone. That's what we're diving into today. Why building wealth, true, sustainable, asset-driven wealth, is more important than chasing individual financial goals. And along the way, I'll share how this mindset shift can make achieving your personal goals faster, easier, and honestly, more fun. Goals versus wealth. It's a mindset shift. Let's start by clarifying what I mean by building wealth. Wealth isn't just having a lot of cash in the bank. It's not just net worth on a spreadsheet. It's owning enough income-producing assets, things like stocks, bonds, real estate, businesses, that your money earns more money without you lifting a finger. Your portfolio, not just your paycheck, becomes the engine of your financial life. Your portfolio is like a factory. It works day and night, even when you're not working. Now, compare that to pursuing individual financial goals. They tend to be finite. You save X dollars, you spend it, and then you're back at square one. Here's an example. Let's say you set a goal to save $20,000 for a kitchen remodel. You save for a year, you hit the $20,000, you do the remodel. Now that account is back to zero. And the next goal is, say, $60,000 for a new car, you start over again. It's like filling a bucket with water and then pouring it all out every time you reach the top. Wealth building, on the other hand, is like digging a well. At first, you don't have much to show for your work, just a lot of effort and maybe a little trickle of water. But over time, as you dig deeper, you hit a steady flow. And eventually, the well produces more water than you can use, and it keeps flowing even if you take a break. That's the mindset shift, from one-and-done achievements to ongoing financial power. Now, let's dig a little deeper. Building wealth requires a purpose for all dollars. One of the biggest differences between goal chasers and wealth builders is how they think about every dollar that comes in. When you're chasing a specific goal, you're more likely to be intentional only with the money that's earmarked for that goal. I need $500 a month for the vacation fund, so that's where my discipline goes. The rest? Well, it was spent. Wealth builders don't think that way. They give every single dollar a job. Some dollars go towards necessities, sure. Some towards fun, but a consistent portion is always assigned to asset accumulation, buying things that make money. Think of running your household like a ship at sea, where every dollar you earn is a crew member with a specific job. Some crew keep the ship sailing day to day, paying bills, buying groceries, maintaining the vessel. Others handle safety, your emergency fund. But the most important long-term crew are the ones working below deck in the engine room, steadily building more power by investing in new equipment, better navigation, or even extra ships. If you don't assign enough dollars to that wealth-building crew, your ship might stay afloat, but never gain speed, and you'll always be at the mercy of currents and wind. But when you consistently dedicate resources to growing your wealth, you're not just surviving the voyage. You're building the capacity to go travel farther, faster, and with more freedom than ever before. Here's an example. Let's say you make $8,500 a month. A goal chaser might say, $3,000 for rent or mortgage, $2,500 for expenses, and $1,000 towards a vacation fund. The rest kind of disappears into life. A wealth builder says $3,000 for rent or mortgage and $2,500 for expenses, just like above, $1,000 for investment accounts, $1,000 towards the vacation, and $1,000 for a reserve fund. The difference? The Wealth Builder has a standing policy that every month, money goes into wealth-producing activities no matter what. Even while working toward the vacation, they're also planting seeds for the future. And here's the kicker. If you're building wealth, the vacation fund might actually eventually come from investment income instead of your paycheck, which means you don't have to choose between living now and securing the future. Building wealth means accumulating income-producing assets. An income-producing asset is something you own that sends you money. It could be dividends from stocks, interest from bonds, rent from real estate, or profits from a business. Why are these so important? Because they're workers, and they never sleep, they never take vacation, and they never ask for a raise. The average person relies on their own labor as their only source of income. You work, you get paid. You stop working, the money stops. But when you own assets, you create a second source of income, one that doesn't depend on your daily effort, and the more assets you accumulate, the more income they generate, and the less dependent you are on your own time and energy. Let's say you own $500,000 worth of dividend-paying stocks yielding 4% annually. That's $20,000 a year, without selling a single share. That's like having a part-time job that pays you every year, year in and year out, and doesn't require you to show up. And here's the magic. When you reinvest that income, your asset base grows, and so does the income it produces. It's compounding, just like a snowball at the top of a hill. At first, you have to push it to get it rolling, just like you have to put in money and effort early on. As it rolls, it gathers more snow. Your returns earn their own returns. Eventually, the snowball becomes so big that it keeps rolling and growing with very little push from you, all with its own momentum. You know, when you focus on only individual goals, you often spend down your assets to reach them. When you focus on wealth, you protect and grow your assets so that they can fund your goals and keep producing afterwards. Now, here's where it gets really exciting. Shifting your income-producing potential from you to your portfolio. When your portfolio, your collection of assets, generates enough income to cover a significant portion of your expenses, you've effectively bought back your time. Think about it. Right now, most of your lifestyle is probably supported by your job. You trade hours for dollars. But if your portfolio starts producing, say, $3,000 a month, that's $3,000 you don't have to earn from work. This shift changes everything. You might cut back to part-time. You might start a business you've always dreamt of. You might spend more time with family, or travel, or volunteer, learn, or create. You might just pursue a more fulfilling way to spend your time, even if it's a different career with less income potential. Wealth building isn't about retiring at 35 and sitting on a beach forever. It's about creating options, the freedom to choose how you spend your days. And that freedom is hard to get if you're just aiming for goals and then starting over each time. Here's a quick story about a family I know. They built a portfolio of rental properties over 15 years. At first, they worked full-time, saved aggressively, and they used the profits from each property to buy the next property. Now, those properties produce more income than their old salaries did, and they do still work, but only on projects they love. The pressure is gone. Their portfolio, not their bosses, pays the bills. That's the shift we're talking about. That's financial freedom. Here's the irony. When you focus on wealth first, you can actually hit your personal goals faster. Why? Because your assets are working in the background. Let's say you want to pay cash for a $60,000 car in 5 years. If you're just saving from your paycheck, you'd need to set aside about $1,000 a month. But if you already have $200,000 invested, earning 7%, that portfolio is generating about $14,000 a year in returns. You could take part of those returns for the car and still have your full investment working for you. In other words, wealth acts like a financial accelerator. You don't have to pause your progress on one goal to start another. Multiple goals can be achieved at the same time because the engine is big enough to support it. Okay, so right now you might be thinking, okay, I get it. Building wealth is better. So how do I get started? Well, here's the thing. Building wealth is simple, but not easy. It requires consistent discipline, a clear plan, and the patience to let time do the heavy lifting. But here are 6 steps to get you started. Step 1, decide on your wealth target. This is your personal freedom number, the amount of income you want your portfolio to produce. If your expenses are, say, $60,000 a year, and you want your portfolio to cover all of it, you might aim for $1.5 million invested at a 4% yield. Step 2, automate your investing. Treat your investment contributions like a bill, non-negotiable. Every paycheck, a set percentage goes into income-producing assets. Step 3, diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Mix stocks, bonds, perhaps real estate or royalties, and other income-producing vehicles in your portfolio. Step 4, reinvest your income. In the early years, reinvest all dividends, interest, and profits. Let compounding work its magic. Step 5, protect your assets. Build an emergency fund, get proper insurance, and avoid high-interest debt that eats away at your returns. And step 6, stay the course. Wealth building is a marathon. Markets will go up and down, but the long-term trend favors patient investors. This isn't about deprivation. It's about prioritizing your future freedom so you can enjoy more of life on your own terms. So let's wrap this up. Pursuing individual goals is like planting a series of flowers here and there. They're beautiful, but short-lived. Building wealth is like planting an orchard. It takes time, but once it's mature, it feeds you for life. When you build wealth, you give purpose to every dollar, not just the goal dollars. You accumulate income-producing assets that work for you 24/7. You shift your income-producing power from yourself to your portfolio, freeing up your time. You hit personal goals faster because your wealth is an engine, not just a bucket that you empty for every goal. And maybe most importantly, you create freedom. Not just the freedom to buy things, but the freedom to live the life you want on your terms. And that's why we started Living Your Wealth Today and Tomorrow, to help you on this journey. If today's episode resonated with you, here's my challenge. Take one step this week to work on building wealth. It could be opening an investment account, automating a transfer, or even just mapping out your personal freedom number. Because the sooner you start, the sooner you stop chasing goals, the sooner you'll be building your own financial engine. Thanks for listening to Living Your Wealth Today and Tomorrow. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who's stuck in the goal mindset. And if you'd like some guidance on your own wealth building journey, consider visiting our website at infinityfinancialstrategies.net to learn more about how we help folks build wealth for today and tomorrow. Thanks for listening to this episode of Living Your Wealth Today and Tomorrow. This podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not tax, legal, or investment advice. Seek guidance from your legal and financial professionals before acting. For more insights on planning for your financial future, follow me on LinkedIn. And for more information on Infinity Financial Strategies, visit our website at infinityfinancialstrategies.net. If you enjoyed the show, please share it with a friend or family member who might benefit from listening, and please leave a review wherever you listen. Tune in next time for more tips and tricks on living your best life through financial planning.